2004 was an incredible year for gaming with titles like Halo 2 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. However, in the box of misfit toys, we see a Lucasfilm original game titled Star Wars Battlefront. We were in the middle of the prequel era in Star Wars, and Lucasfilm was capitalizing it by making everything under the sun a video game. But something started happening. This game started getting traction, and is now looked at as the godfather of an incredible FPS genre. And after playing it, I think I understand why. To me, and many people, Battlefront I was magic in a bottle.
We've captured a command post.
The graphics hold up considerably, considering this was released in 2004. I ran it on the Xbox One S and didn't run into any problems. All four factions of the OT and prequels are here, but for the prequels they're focused on the Episode 2 look for the clones. It's a bit jarring considering I've lived and died with its sequel. The class system is in place, so the rule diversity is imperative to get right. Though I always just went infantry and didn't have too much of a problem. Maybe I'm just quirky like that. The game takes a really slow pace. There's no sprinting here, and your FOV is scaled inwards, with no ability to change it. However, instead of sprinting, your player is able to prone? I never thought something like that would be so entertaining. Being able to prone next to a slope and just fire down range is something that is desperately missing from Battlefront 2, and I'm retroactively sad it was removed. The idea of an aggressive third faction on the map that is just on no one's side can be pretty chaotic. Those Tuskens can pack a punch, especially when they control the middle of the map. The ability to take out an entire faction from the board without the game ending is a pretty fantastic concept. All you have to do is walk up to a yellow command post and it goes away, and... I'm sorry, is the color green? Space combat is quite limited, as there are no official space maps. Instead, vehicles like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter are found on the main command posts of each faction. The maps are usually too small for ships this large, and I mostly skip them during my time replaying the game. The only time I truly used them was on Battlefront's best map, the Bespin platforms. The ability to fly to another platform and completely cut off the enemy's supply lines to the middle command post can open up a whole bunch of different ways to win a pretty straightforward map. The map selection is pretty good. Something I thought I'd never say is that I love map variations. Being able to fight on the plains of Naboo and then right into Theed or Kashyyyk docks right into the Kashyyyk Islands can provide a little storytelling for a kid enthused with creating their own stories like I did at that age. However, if you want to experience some lore, I would shoot over to Battlefront's campaign.
Destroy the shield generator.
Battlefront 1's campaign doesn't really have a narrative structure to it. At least one that you can really attach yourself to like the other campaigns in the series. Instead, it's just a large amount of battles that just carry on to the next with no real cutscenes. So please allow me to dramatically read through each mission of the campaign and try to give it a little bit of narrative. The year is 32 BBY. AMTT successfully deploys the droids as the Gungan army prepares for war. The droids roll through the hillside without any problems. However, while the B-1s are in conflict with the Gungans, the people outside Theed are rising up thanks to the return of the Jedi and their queen. You must put down this insurrection before it gets out of control. You are able to do this but not before a little boy blows up the control ship, and thus ending the conflict. Fresh off the line, a group of super battle droids are rotated in with the droid garrison under the command of Count Dooku. Your task is to wipe out a Wookiee training settlement just as night falls. They are no match for you, but you are thrust to leave for the birthplace of all droids, Geonosis. Here the Jedi are put on the back foot before a mysterious army arrives of identical soldiers. They come down from the heavens and save the lives of the Jedi. Now manned and gunned, the newly formed Republic army succeeds in pushing back the droid forces. This is short-lived, however, as the Separatists stage a counterattack on the clone birthplace of Kamino. This attack is repelled, and the clones move in to secure a listening post on Renvar. The op is successful, and the Republic establishes a base there. Outmatched, the Separatists desperately attack Kashyyyk. The Republic forces are sent in to defend the beachhead and, with the help from the Wookiees, clear out the planet of all droids. Although the day was saved, it was only a matter of time before everything fell apart. The year is 0 BBY, perhaps mere hours before the Battle of Yavin. 2 droids escaped the Tantive 4 and now roam the desert wastes of Tatooine. A garrison of stormtroopers brings us to the Dune Sea in a 3-way conflict against Rebel forces and Tusken Raiders. This forces us to miss the droids in Mos Eisley carrying the Death Star plans. The order is given for an all-out assault on Mos Eisley, against a giant Rebel force on their way to recover the plans. We're successful in leveling the city, but know we must pursue the Millennium Falcon. As Vader's forces leave Mos Eisley, we follow a separate winterized group as they defend a temple on Renvar against Rebel forces. The group is successful as we continue on with our original team. As the rebellion is gearing up to attack the Death Star, your garrison is tasked with getting a team on the ground just as their ships get in the air. As the rebels meet you in a rainy temple, it's weird to think that when you're slaughtering them, it's in vain, as these troopers would feel the explosion of the Death Star from Yavin. These soldiers can't look on for too long, as apparent lifeboats crash down onto Yavin. Now, they march on the temple, as you take the role of a rebellion soldier, holding the line. As we eliminate the remaining survivors of the Death Star and our original garrison, time marches forward, as the Empire has found Hoth and is on a warpath. You stave off Imperial forces to protect the base, barely escaping against vengeful troopers. In Cloud City, the Empire has taken over the entire complex at the hands of Lord Vader. A team is sent in to stop the bleeding. You take over a city plaza and a maintenance dock, before retreating to fight another day. That day comes a year later when you're assigned to General Solo's strike team on Endor. Here you help strike the final blow to the Empire, ensuring peace across the galaxy.
The rebellion has sabotaged our vehicles.
Galactic Conquest here is pretty much just Conquest with some added steps. There is no troop buying, so you start out with all the characters unlocked. The enemy also never has a chance to retaliate. They're pretty much on the back foot as you invade every planet one by one. Something I actually enjoyed was the 2-phase war on the planet. I played Empire for this recording, and when I took out Kashyyyk, I was surprised that I didn't unlock the planet, with it stating it was contested. It helps spreads out the game as the amount of planets is quite limiting. Once you conquer the planet though, you are given a bonus for that specific planet. The main Imperial one is the Bespin ship sabotage, which is basically useless. When you win enough battles, a meter will grow, eventually giving you the option of just blowing up a planet with the Death Star. Well, don't mind if I do. Goodbye, Naboo.
Now they will witness the power of a fully functional Death Star.
Musical jumping. Excuse me, but the most safest place would be gone.
Choose a planet to attack.
That's good. That's real good. Outside of all of that, though, It's your basic Conquest. Its sequel expanded upon the mode greatly, but what's here is very enjoyable to mess around on.
Victory is imminent.
Although outshined by its successor, Battlefront I laid the groundwork for an incredible IP that is still talked about today with the EA titles. It's been fun to go back and see where the sequel games got early ideas, and to see ideas that didn't carry over, like commands and non-playable heroes. I've really enjoyed my time on Battlefront 1, and I'd highly recommend it, even today. Thanks for watching.